In 1943, while war tore through the Pacific, a different battle was underway, one for souls. In the jungles of New Guinea, Christian GIs gathered to pray, study scripture, and build a place of worship from scraps. They called it the KB Chapel. Led by chaplains like Robert Warren and Leon Hawley, these gatherings became spiritual lifelines. The hunger for the gospel was real and contagious. In Manila, as the war came to a close, something eternal was just beginning. On May 5, 1945, the first GI Gospel Hour gathered over 200 soldiers in a bombed-out funeral home. 7 men surrendered their lives to Christ, exactly the number they had prayed for. Out of that awakening came a new vision, a Bible school for Asia. On September 21, 1945, that vision was born in the home of Ed and Marion Baum, Baptist missionaries who had endured wartime internment. Rather than retreat, they opened their hearts and home to young soldiers searching for purpose. Their hospitality helped launch the Far Eastern Bible Institute and Seminary, or FEBIAS, a seminary that would train leaders across Asia. In Japan, those same soldiers shared Christ with former enemies. From Yokohama to Tokyo, GI Gospel Hours and ministries like orphanages, clinics, and youth outreach spread hope in a broken land. One of those soldiers was Phil Armstrong. Burdened after seeing Japanese POWs he couldn't reach, Phil returned from war with a calling. He named FEBIAS United Post-War Efforts, and in 1947 became the first general director of the newly formed Far Eastern Gospel Crusade. With fervor, he led the mission into a new season of faith and obedience. Through the 1950s and 60s, the gospel spread from Manila's slums to Japan's villages, to tribal groups in Luzon. Churches were planted, leaders were raised, the mission grew. In 1970, a surprising door opened northward. Central Alaskan Missions, founded by Vince Joy, a bold pilot preacher, merged with FEGC. Joy's legacy of rugged, gospel-driven service strengthened the mission's reach into remote communities. By 1980, FEGC had become truly international. With humility and vision, Frank Severn stepped in as general director. Under his leadership, the mission entered Spain, Hong Kong, and Eastern Europe. That same year, FEGC became Send International, capturing its core calling to send workers into the world. Just as the mission began settling into its new identity as Send International, tragedy struck. In September 1981, former General Director Phil Armstrong, longtime board member Paul Mortensen, and 3 other Send missionaries were killed in a plane crash over the Gulf of Alaska while en route from Petersburg to Glen Allen. This loss sent shockwaves throughout the mission. Yet in grief, the Send family came together. In Alaska, workers pressed on. Across fields, missionaries stood firm, and under Frank Severn's leadership, unity deepened and the mission endured. The years that followed were marked by healing, recommitment, and steady growth, with the memory of faithful servants like Phil Armstrong becoming fuel for a new generation. After the fall of the Berlin Wall, new fields opened. Send stepped boldly into Ukraine, Russia, and the Balkans. Retired missionaries like Rolly Reisner and Howard Blair returned to teach. Young leaders rose. God's mission pressed on. In 1995, Send celebrated 50 years, not as an end, but a recommitment. From jungle tents to global teams, from 7 salvations in Manila to thousands reached worldwide, God had opened doors around the world, and his people walked through. As the new millennium began, Send stepped into a season of transformation, both in vision and in reach. In 2000, the Eurasia region was officially formed, connecting diverse countries under one regional banner. New ministries soon launched in Turkey, Kazakhstan, and China, marking a bold commitment to strategic and often sensitive areas of the world. In 2004, Warren Jansen became Send's new international director, bringing fresh vision to the mission. Dorothy Jansen soon launched the Women's Ministry Team, strengthening care for Send women serving around the globe. By 2008, Send changed its mission statement to mobilize God's people and engage the unreached in order to establish reproducing churches. This strategic shift placed access to the gospel as a key filter for decision-making as we focus our efforts on the unreached. With an updated logo, a restructured council, and the launch of Send You, the foundation for future growth was set. During the global COVID-19 lockdowns, Send didn't pause, it recentered. The mission revised its core values to reflect who we are becoming, an organization committed to intentional discipleship, unity in diversity, courageous innovation, and lasting impact. At the same time, the Kingdom Transformation Framework and Kingdom Development Goals were introduced, providing fresh lens for how Send engages the world and measures long-term gospel impact. With a presence in 27 countries, the mission continues in sacrificial service. The same God who called us 80 years ago is still calling us today. Through shifting seasons and new horizons, Send remains faithful to the call, to go, to send, and to serve.